What if everything you thought you knew about Mike's timeline in the Five Nights at Freddy's universe was wrong? I know it sounds crazy, right? So prepare to have your mind blown here, because we're going to explore the shocking theory that Mike isn't just surviving, but he's actively hunting animatronics in the shadowy gaps between games. Could there actually be a secret narrative waiting to be uncovered? And this theory, I guarantee, will fundamentally change how you view the entire FNAF saga. So get ready, hit that subscribe button, and let's get straight into it, because immediately I'd like to address something. And that, my friends, is the common perception of Michael Afton's role in the FNAF franchise. You see, most people believe he's just simply surviving the nights. Look at FNAF 1, just trying to fend off the animatronics each night, right? The same in FNAF 2, the same in Sister Location, just trying to survive. But you see, let's switch that on their head. What if he was actually seeking the animatronics out? What if he was using these shifts as a way to gain access to the knowledge of the animatronics, their schematics, and potentially analyzing their behavior? Is he studying their weaknesses? But we're getting ahead of ourselves here. First off, we have to place everything in the correct timeline to understand what's going on. And one of the biggest things I see many theorists get wrong is the placement of Sister Location. So let's get this right, well, literally right from the start. And yes, the placement of Sister Location for this theory is extremely important. Now, many theorists believe it is before 1993, which is FNAF 1. That is completely wrong, and let me explain why. Sister Location has to come after the events of FNAF 1 in 1993. Why? Because of the Follow Me minigame. Now, if you're unaware, the Follow Me minigame takes place in the Freddy Fazbear's Pizza location of the first game, Rundown and Rotting. And basically what happens is the animatronics follow Shadow Freddy, which says follow me, and they follow the Shadow Freddy to a purple guy, obviously aka William Afton, who then dismantles the said animatronic. This happens over a series of nights until eventually he dismantles every single animatronic. Now, when we play FNAF 1 as Mike in 1993, them animatronics are not dismantled. And you see, the reason why William is dismantling these animatronics is because he's basically melting them down into the molten MCI. Basically, all them animatronics parts, he melds down to create the fun times. Therefore, this has to happen before Sister Location, after 1993, because Mike has to see them in their original form first in 1993. Afton then melts them down, creates the fun times out of them in the Sister Location bunker. Therefore, Sister Location takes place after 1993. Job done. With that out of the way, we can now confidently get on with Mike's timeline and what he was actually doing between games and his end goal, because he was never really the victim here. And this is what I was talking about earlier. This really changes the implications for the established lore, because many people just believe he's going through the nights, surviving them. And you see, I don't believe that to be the case. Let's go through Mike's timeline. We know he was the one who caused his brother's death. I mean, he literally picks his brother up, throws him in the mouth of Freddy, chomp, chomp, chomp. You know the story. Mike at this point was a young teenager, roughly around the age of 15, 16, right? Maybe even a little bit older, 17 even. Regardless, a few years pass and he joins the crew of FNAF 2 in 1987. He'd easily be old enough to join and does so under a fake name, Fritz Smith. Interestingly enough, obviously Fritz Smith gets fired in FNAF 2, and on that slip it says the reasons: tampering with the animatronics. Why would Mike be tampering with the animatronics? And there's also something else extremely interesting on this pink slip. It says it's his first day with the company. Now, obviously that could be true, but it could also be false, because he's clearly going under multiple different names, fake names, because we know in FNAF 1, he goes under Mike Schmidt, another completely different name. Now, the Eagle Eye would have also spotted something else. Another reason for why he was fired was the odor. Now, a lot of people think that's because of the odor after he was killed after Sister Location, but I've already established Sister Location comes after all of this. So at this point, he is not a zombie, he just really does have bad odor. And in Dittophobia and the logbook, it constantly tells us that Mike is a sweaty individual, hence he's gonna smell. You see, Mike tampering with the animatronics is the really interesting thing here, because we start to paint another picture as time goes on. You see, he gets fired for the same thing in FNAF 1. Obviously, he's called Mike Schmidt there, but he's tampering with the animatronics again, general unprofessionalism and odor. But the thing we really have to establish is, why is he tampering with the animatronics? And I haven't even got to the implications in Sister Location or after that yet, because believe me, it gets extremely interesting. Let's get into Sister Location for just 1 second here. If you beat the custom night on the hardest difficulty, you'll get Michael metaphorically speaking to his father, which is an extremely interesting thing. It's not very long, but have a full listen to this.
Father, it's me, Michael. I did it. I found it. It was right where you said it would be. They were all there. recognize me at first, but then they thought I was you. And I found her. I put her back together, just like you asked me to. She's free now. But something is wrong with me. I should be dead, but I'm not. I've been living in shadows. There is only one thing left for me to do now. I'm going to come find you. I'm going to come find you.
Now, there are huge lore implications in this message. First off, the big kicker, he says something is wrong with me. I should be dead, but I'm not. Indicating this dialogue comes after him getting scooped in Sister Location. He says he's been living in the shadows. Again, this all points to after Sister Location, right? He then says that he found it. It was right where you said it would be. Obviously, his father, William Afton, was giving him commands, objectives to follow. Again, confirmed by the piece where he says, I put her back together just like you asked me to. She's free now. Now, that could be referring to, obviously, Baby when she was spit out of Ennard, so he went and found her and put her back together as Scrap Baby as such. Or it could be something else entirely. But the fact that when she's Scrap Baby, she's kind of super aggressive and talks about making her daddy proud seems like she's on the same wavelength as William himself, right? So maybe that's what he means by she's free now, to be her real self, just like her father, a killer. But the reason I bring all this up is because that Michael had been following his father's commands. And not just in Sister Location. He had done that in 1987 in FNAF 2. He was following his father's command. In 1993 in FNAF 1, he was following his father's commands. But what commands? What was he doing in these pizzerias? Well, let me continue to explain. We all know William had a dark agenda for his dark experiments. And he needed to continue his experiments. He needed research. Did he enlist Mike? Or did Mike even contribute to this research? You see, after Michael had killed his brother, although it was an accident, that is when Afton started to get involved, started to notice remnants, started to notice the supernatural behaviour. Could he have enlisted Mike to start tracking the animatronics for their essence? Mike wasn't just avoiding them, he was actively hunting them down, tracking them. His father had obviously committed the murders, but he couldn't study them. He couldn't be in the proximity of these animatronics with bodies stuffed inside of them, souls inside of them, remnant inside of them. No, he couldn't be that close. It was too hot. He'd get caught. So he enlists the help of his son unknowingly, gets him a job there, under a false name obviously, and uses Mike to study their behaviour. Tampering with the animatronics, which we obviously know he does off screen. I mean, we have several references to it. The logbook, the pink fired slips. And let's not forget, Mike had a drive for fixing things in quotation marks. Could he have also been playing his father off there, using his father to get him access and finding out his plans, but in Mike's way, fixing things by dismantling the animatronics that caused his sister's demise, caused his brother's demise, and in his way, fixing things, which will lead to FNAF 6, which I'll talk about in a second. You see, the missing years as such, that gap between FNAF 1 and FNAF 3 are crucial here. We know in FNAF 3 he's obviously in Fazbear Frights, and again that burns to the ground. But between his father's spring lock-in in FNAF 1 and the events of FNAF 3, what exactly was he doing? Well, I think we've painted the picture. Michael, between FNAF 1 and FNAF 3, not only was he looking for his father, which he says in Sister Location he is going to find him, whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, he was actively hunting around pizzerias, hunting animatronics, studying their weaknesses, studying their schematics, tampering with them. He has extensive knowledge. And then when FNAF 3 comes around, he finds his father. Mike, in these missing years, was hunting the animatronics. Hunter Mike theory changes the established timeline. Well, in my eyes anyway. He was going around dismantling and in essence, freeing, or in whichever way you look at it, killing the animatronics. Looking for them animatronics which escaped the Sister Location bunker. The animatronics from FNAF 1, from FNAF 2, and setting up the events of FNAF 3. Logically, it fits the narrative that Mike would be the one to confront SpringTrap, obviously his father, in the attraction where he is found. And then ending in that massive climax with the fire and ending him once and for all. Obviously, we know that doesn't happen because of FNAF 6. But again, who do we play as in this FNAF 6 pizzeria, Mike, luring all the animatronics to this location to again free them. All his years of searching, all his years of research on Remnant, the animatronics, tampering them, learning the AI, learning that there's souls inside of these metal husks. He is going to be the one to end it all and end his father at the same time. You see, he wasn't working for his father as such, he was playing him off in order to use him just as much as his father was trying to use Mike. Mike Hunter was the one going after everything to bring his father's work down, his legacy and Fazbear Entertainment, which leads into the theory I did the beginning of this week with Mike and Foxy in Security Breach. You see, Mike for me was the unsung hero of everything, and there's potential there for a new game or DLC built around Mike's covert operations in the pizzerias and Pizzaplex. But hold on a second, what are your thoughts on this radical reinterpretation I've just come up with and the hidden lore implications? How do you feel about it? Let me know in the comments below, and please hit that like button and hype the video if you enjoyed it. Let's get it out to fellow FNAF fans. I love the Mike Hunter theory, I'm a big fan of Mike if you haven't already guessed. Oh, and don't forget to check out the other videos and the Foxy video. A massive thanks to the Fazbear Entertainment employees who are on screen now: Lauren, Rena Fox, Amet Junitopia, Queen Bubbles, and our Twisted Fazbear CEOs, Rock Nigel, Bubsalicious, and Penguin Lover 12. Thanks for being a valued member of the Fazbear team. I'm the iconic Twisted Animatronic, and stay safe out there, superstars.